It is I, the People's Machine. I'm formerly the Juice Man 3941, but I decided to change my name to my musical screen name, or my musical stage name, because I played music for many years, and on the stage I was known as the People's Machine. I mainly wanted to change it, mainly because that even though the Juice Man is what I've been known as, it actually has a kind of naughty sexual connotation to it, and I think some people were getting apparently and was offended. But I'm back. I'm the People's Machine. This is Gaming Round Table. This is rebooted, so we're starting over with episode 1, and I am going to be more diligent in making videos than I was the last time. I am playing a new game that was released last night or yesterday, Tuesday, called Hunt Showdown. This was on the PC. It has now made its way to PS4. It is a player versus environment, PvE, and PvP, player versus player, kind of sandbox style game. It is not like a battle royale or anything along that lines. Even though you're going to look at the game and think there's some similarities. It is a first-person shooter first and foremost. You play a hunter in the Louisiana late 1800s era, and you're after all kinds of manner of hellish creatures. And I'm telling you, just to let you know, the creatures in this game are some of the most horrific creatures I have seen in any video game, outside of maybe The Evil Within and some others. It's very, in some ways, kind of Lovecraftian in that particular respects, and they're just, the creature designs are great. This is the main lobby area, and I want to talk about what's really awesome about the game, and I want to talk about what's not so awesome about the game, and I want to talk a little bit about this because I have played I'm rank 3. I want to talk about some of the really awesome aspects of it. Well, actually, before I get into the awesome aspects, I do want to say and note that I'd like you to subscribe to Unpaid Gamers, which will let you link to Unpaid Gamers on YouTube, which also broadcasts my stuff as well. And I'm linked up with Posthuman Guy on that particular level. So if you want to subscribe to my channel, please do that. Subscribe to Unpaid Gamers. You can see my content, and I am not a fancy content creator. I do not have a video of myself talking. If you're new to the channel, you know that I just simply broadcast and talk through my mic. I usually turn the audio down low enough so you can hear me, because I've had problems with that in the past, and I'll sometimes turn it up if I decide just to play the game and show you what the game is all about. Right off the bat, though, let's talk a little bit about some of the best aspects of the game. Number one, it's a very realistic game in terms of its reloading and the way that you reload weapons and shoot stuff. It's very realistic. I like the realism of it. It's not something you can just instantly reload, like, let's say, the revolver that this particular hunter, Harry Flinders, I'm using, uses. It's actually like he clicks the revolver chamber, and then the cylinder, loads one, clicks again, loads one, clicks again, load. So, and like when I was using the shotgun, for example, it's a one-shot thing. It takes a second to load. Ammo is not necessarily scarce in the game, but you can't hold some infinite amount. It's not like GTA or some other game where you're holding 200 shotgun shells. You literally hold like 12, and you can find ammo stuff around, but they don't necessarily always refill you entirely. You might only get 2 shells, you might get 6. You don't always actually get a full refill when you are playing this game, and I like that aspect of the game. It feels very realistic in that particular sense. That is one really good positive thing about the game. Graphically, it does use the Crytek engine. It runs at about 30 FPS. I'm going to do something real quick for you guys. I'm going to do a training, because this way I don't have to deal with other hunters in the game, because I want to show you some gameplay. I want to show you some of the things that's available in the game. I've already done the basic and advanced. There's the hard difficulty, which is basically going to say all enemies, basic and advanced, in normal numbers, a regular amount of ammunition supply and health stations, a target spider with 100% health, no weapons to loot near the target's lair. You're after a bounty, It's going to be one of 3 bosses. I'm assuming they're going to add more bosses later, because most games like this would. The spider that you fight does look like a spider, but it's got this weird it tore from the inside. It looks like of a human, so he's still got his like human face. It's just kind of it's a terrifying fight. Honestly, if you have headphones and the audio, it's a terrifying fight. It is a really interesting game. I'm gonna go ahead and play basic, even though I've already paid it and I won't get any rewards, only to show you some of the aspects of the game. And let's start this. Yes, the game is first and foremost a PvE game, and the secondary function of the game is a PvP game. And I'm going to talk about the positive and negatives of that in this particular game. This is not a review. It's going to sound like a review, but it's not a review. As you know, I don't review games. I don't feel like, because reviews are, as I've always said, subjective, and I think it's important to understand that I don't like to see games. There's a lot of games I play that most people would probably give a 2 or 3 out of 10, and I would not do that. I would give it an 8 or a 9. So it's subjective. But here we go. We're going to play the game, so it's ready to go. As soon as it loads here, it takes a little bit. It's not like it doesn't have like long load times at all. Even when you're playing against people, when you play online or with people, it's 12 hunters that are put into the map wherever they're going to go, and and this is basically the bayou, as you can see. It does use the Crytek engine. It's very pretty. There's some hit or miss here on some of the textures up close, like these. Clearly, it's textures. It looks fine from about there, but up close. But it is nice that they move. The classic Crytek, it moves with the grass blades move. Bushes and branches get out of your way. This is how you find clues to where you will need to go. You can see into the veil, they call it, the other world, and this is basically the general direction they want you to go. You do have a map. Silly enough, this little eye here is going to be the essential area where the clue is. It doesn't exactly tell you. It does kind of point you in that way, so we're going to go that route. And again, it's a good looking game. Like the light source is good. There's little touches like this, ripples in the water. It's really nice. I'm going to, I don't know if it's going to let me jump the sound up, but I think I'm going to put the sound up for you all so you can hear it, and I'll talk over it. So let's see here. There we go. Okay, let's see. All right, hopefully you can hear over any. It's probably more ambient sound than anything. That shows you where the clue is at. Again, there's a clue here in the main area. So, and of course, there's dogs here, and they're like dying. And yes, you can shoot them, but they're dying. So, I will say this: the game is very accurate. Crytek engine's always been great. Excuse me, bless me. For shooting, the accuracy is amazing in this game. That horse is dying. I usually put him out of their misery when I see them because they're kind of sad. You do have melee, boom, like that, or you can hold it down and do that big strike. Those are your classic kind of zombies. This horse's leg is broke, so I put it out of its misery because I feel like it's suffering, and I know that's pretty fucked up, but I had to do what I had to do. Let's see here. These are little traps you can pick up. Oh, I do have the ability to heal. Let's see here. That's stamina. You can do this, and I can heal. It's a quick select wheel. You can assign it to the D-pad. That's over there. Now these are clues. And that's just another void, and then tells you found the first spider clue. So when you click on the map, it's going to shrink the area where you found the clue, and you're going to want to go into this area here. Again, the next clue is this way. You can search all the homes, pretty much. If you are playing this game with headphones, it is great because the audio cues are very important in this game, from the enemies to the player hunters. See, I got 14 there. Sometimes I wouldn't. Now this is something that can cause distractions, which brings, like, if there's monsters in the area, they'll come to it rather than me. So it's kind of nice. It's just a distraction. So if they're looking around, they're not sure what it is now. They're alerted to me. I've shot and killed them. Everything you kill earns you experience and things along that lines as well. So I'm going to try to get on out of here. Lanterns. You can pick up items. I can toss it and it will burn an area for a while. Fire looks very nice. It's very effective against creatures. And there's stones by you here. So let's see, make sure I see next clues that way, so we'll head that way. Now, Crytek has said that they are going to put a strict player versus environment mode in, where you don't have to deal with other players. It's just you or two people or a team of 3 to fight these bosses and these bounties, and then you can just play against the environment. They haven't done it yet, but they're going to. Again, this way here. The maps are randomized and procedural. The map always is, and sometimes it can be daytime, sometimes it can be night, sometimes it's in an area that's very, very, like, a lot of swamp, sometimes it's farmland. It just depends. The lighting and the sound design in this game, by the way, are superb. These little lanterns you can turn off and on. You'll find them inside of areas to... Like I said, the boss creatures you end up fighting in this game are pretty... They only got 6 ammo there. Are terrifying. I mean, they really are. They're just... If you ever play this game, I mean, even playing solo, it's pretty much like... It is very, very, like, nerve-wracking. I love this here, too. These chains move around. And sometimes, like, you'll hear them when a boss or a monster runs through me. It's just great. Somewhere in close. Oh crap. Okay. Next clue. Alright. See, I'm close now. Being that this is the easy one, I played the normal one, and you fight other things besides those zombies. You fight way worse creatures. I've also, like, played it and found myself, I haven't done hard, but, like, the map is much bigger. Like, the area is not just this well contained. It's just, you're just playing it. Well, actually, most of the map is being used on the normal, and then hard the whole map, so it's a little bit longer, but you're going to be doing way harder stuff. I gotta find the third clue and find the spider lair. The graphics are great. Like I said, the lighting's great. It really looks like the bayou, you know, Louisiana bayou. It's perfect. It has that look and feel. It's exactly how you would expect it to look in this time period. Very good job Crytek did on this particular thing. It's both bright and impressive. These corn stalks and that's the next clue is in that house. I just gotta figure out how to get in there. Oh. There we go. Go up here. Turn on this light here. Oh, got him. Oh, here's the clue. Okay, so that's the basic premise. You find the 3 clues, and then it's going to tell you, and I'm really close to its lair. You could technically play the game and not look for clues and just try to find a lair on your own without doing the clues, and I've done that, and it's actually kind of fun because you don't know where things are at, so it does make you like explore. Here's a hunter, don't really have anything I need, and it's in this barn. And there are melee weapons in the game. If I pick them up, like this axe, I can do like a quick thing, or I can do a chop. It's very good against low-level enemies and stuff. But if you do switch back to guns, you do drop it. It's kind of a sore spot for me. I wish you had a melee weapon to carry. You don't. It's only in-game, and then you drop it. So, but it is very useful to use. In this barn here, and there's a lot of dead everything around here where the spider's been feeding, and the spider will never leave its lair. It stays in there. It's where you gotta fight, and this is where I was saying it's kind of nerve-wracking. There it is right there. Of course, I'm playing it easy, so it's not posing so much of a threat because I haven't entered its lair. But it will crawl around, and you hear it rattle chains, and I mean, like when you play on the normal difficulty, man, it's very nerve-wracking, and the monster is very hard. So when you're banishing a creature in the normal game, you will appear on the map. Everyone can see you. When they do this, they can see that. If you look up outside, it's a big rift for banishing the creature, but everybody can see you on the map. So now you gotta get the spider bounty. Now, when you get a bounty at the end, you have to find an extraction point. Luckily, there's some close by, which is good. So there's one over here somewhere, so I'm gonna go try to get to it. And during the extraction mode, you're subject to other players trying to attack you, and sometimes hordes of creatures, zombie things, or whatever. So it's usually a boat or something around here. Sometimes it's a cart, but in this particular instance, it's a boat. Now that's the easy part of the game, and it's very easy. The spider poses very little threat, but a normal game, that thing moves like lightning and goes everywhere and spits poison and tries to trap you and trick you with going one way and then going another. It's actually a very frightening like battle. And I actually, when I played the normal difficulty training, it was very nerve-wracking. And that's the general premise of the game that I just played. Now, a lot of it you might think it might look boring. It's not, especially when you play a normal game. So I will put the options back down, and I'm gonna play an actual game with people. Basically, there's 12 hunters that get put into the game. You're all after the same basic thing. You're actually, you're all. I didn't get, it's already been paid, that completion reward, so I didn't get anything there. Let's see here. Let me go into the settings and turn that audio back down. So that's good there. So when you are playing the game, you got to deal with 12 other possible players, and they are after the same thing. They're trying to get the bounty, try to kill the boss or monster, and they're trying to get the token they're trying to extract, although they can kill you. And if you are, let's say, and let's go to the store, let me show you, and you have some really awesome weapons here. You might have, like, let's say this legendary weapon here, the rattlesnake, or you might have this one here, or whatever. The point is, if you die, you lose that loot. Someone can take it from you if you die in the game world, and then you lose it. And if you're not, it can be stored for later use or whatever you want to do there. This is medium slot, large slot. And that's actually pretty cool. I do have some things I want to go over with you as far as negatives are concerned. It shoots great, it sounds great, lighting's great, the music is subtle and great, the enemy designs are great, but I do have a couple of qualms about it. Number one, the UI here in the menu, it's not very good. I don't like games that go, say I got L1 and R1 to go through a bunch of stuff, and then I've got L2 and R2 to go through a bunch of stuff. These are your game modes. The game modes, I think it'd be better if it was more like a COD or something where you just pick on the side instead of selecting it this way. You can do it this way, like mouse and keyboard style with your controller. There's different ones. Bounty Hunt is the standard mode. 12 people jump in, tells you what the contract bonus is, underdog bonus. You can do like teams of 3, up to 3 people can play. You can do a random partner, or play solo, and it searches for two. You can do duos essentially, or trio there, and that affects different bonuses. Quick play is different. Quick play says solo only. You get 1 free hunter to use. Your hunter is a damn soul. Scavenge for better weapons. Find rifts to activate the wellspring. Absorbs energy savior, so only 1 hunter can survive. So when you're playing it, 12 people go in and only 1 person survives. And you got to find rifts, active wellspring, and all that stuff. But you do find better weapons in this mode that you would carry over into Bounty Hunt. Of course, I did training, and then you have contracts. It offers it's a random contract. You don't know where you're going to spawn in at. You have no idea what you're dealing with. It's actually kind of neat and very randomized kind of thing. But I wish this was a little different. You get your general progress, shows you what you unlock with your various ranks. And there's a lot of ranks. As you can see, rank 90 is essentially 89. Is literally after you reach a 90, it just keeps ranking up to give you hunt dollars, and you can prestige, so that's kind of cool. Let's see here. You got your roster. Now to unlock a new slot, I unlocked one not knowing what it meant, but it means you unlock one here. You can recruit different hunters. Like if I decide to recruit a hunter, for example. These guys, that costs 130 of those skull coins. They are very generous with the hunt dollars. They are also generous with blood bonds. Blood bonds are sold in the game as in-game currency in the PSN store, but they are kind of generous with them, so it's not like a free-to-play, free-to-win thing. You can't just buy a level 80 weapon unless you have a level 80 hunter, so that's nice. I have found no soul survivors. You got to win a quick play match to add them here. But you got your legendary hunters. In here, there's already some DLC for the game. This is legendary hunter. They're just different types, different aesthetics here, and you can hire them, and you can actually toggle their bio. Everyone has a name. They actually tell you who they are and what they are, and a little bit about them, which I like that. At least they're not just some cosmetic look, so that's kind of nice. Uh, this guy's a crossbow guy. This guy's this. There are different traits. He has salve skin, health chunks damaged by fire, heal faster than the full amount, reduce the time needed to bandage. They all have different skills. So going back to the roster, like my character has this trait, which is get revived with up to 100 health, but you do have these various equipments here, and this is stuff that I've either found in the game or unlocked. You can sell stuff. I can take, let's say, let's see, what weapon? This large slot weapon here, and hit clean. You want to select an action, and I don't know. I'm still not really sure what clean does because it doesn't really tell you. I don't know why it means what it's supposed to do or whatever. And as you can see here, one of the things I don't like, there's a plus on this equipment. Now, of course, I'm trying to see everything I guess I own or don't own. And you can click on all this stuff here that highlights, the different explosive. It says medium, it says compact, common, legendary, and then you can show new. And it's not showing all my weapons. If I click this, it will show everything. So the thing and I've been trying to figure out why does it keep showing me, what is it? I got to getting rid of that plus up there next to the equipment is just, it's a pain in the ass. It's still on there, and there's nothing highlighted. So I'm not sure on what's new here. I'm not sure. So I have to go through and kind of click on everything. I'm not sure if it's just, okay, so finally it went away. I remember the last match I won a firebomb. But again, the UI, it's a bit clunky, and I wish it wasn't clunky. Then you go to the library, and you can try to say, hey, there's a new monstrum, I got to collect something, and it can be claimed because I found the assassin's lair. It tells you who they are and a little bit about the monster, what you're dealing with. Which is pretty cool, and I dig that. And then there's Mastery, which teaches you more about the character, 5 assassins to unlock the rewards. So the more you kill, the more information you have about the monster. I think that's very cool because it has a lot. This game has a lot of lore, which is nice. And then of course you have your general store here. As you can see here, this is unlock requirement, earn 500 XP. And then I can unlock that, so weapons do rank up. You get better versions of said weapons, and there's a ton of weapons, as you can see here, throughout the game with different strengths and weaknesses, including, if you want to check out, the legendary weapons, there's none unlocked yet. Tools, consumable, blood bonds, this is how you buy your stuff with, I guess, real money or whatever. Again, I don't think the UI is, terrible, it's just clunky, and I feel like it could be better. I've been using this character, he's level 1, and that's essentially who I've been using. It does try, like I said, there's your progress, then you go back to your lobby. It's got this, which you can inspect, change stuff out if you want, it takes you right to back to that, so that's kind of nice. You can modify the hunter. You do have these upgrades here, and you get points, which lets you upgrade. So I earned that last match, and it says I need 3 points to apply, but I don't have any points currently. If I want to remove that, it does cost blood points if you want to give them something else, which I'm going to remove because I'm primarily playing solo. And so now I can add 1. So, well, it's 4 to apply. I have 4. There's your Greyhound that says sprint at full speed. This is receive additional tool consumable when looting players. This is, let's see here, get a health boost from picking up a clue. There's so many different abilities. There's offensive, there's defensive, there's movement. If you go to crap, I screwed up. If you go to like offensive, there's like, let's see here. Is that offensive? Yeah, they consider that an offensive, all offensive. I only unlocked a couple things. I'm actually going to go with this turtle. Reduced damage from taken from blunt melee is not bad. I like the sprint. That actually is what I'd rather have. And then I've got to apply it, and then there it is. Okay, so now I've got to where I can sprint for longer duration, which is nice. So again, there's a healthy respect of that. But the UI is one of the things I have that I kind of have a problem with. So I'm going to go ahead and play an actual match. There is a couple other points I want to say that I dislike about the game. I played several matches, and about 5 so far, 5 or 6. I think around 6. And I was killed on the first match by a guy that was level 32. Now, the game came out Tuesday. It is possible that he has been playing, or he or she has been playing for, for the past, 2 days, since Tuesday. And it's possible, that they are at level 32. I don't know if there's crossplay involved in this. I don't know PC players. But he had a lot of good weapons. I was incredibly outmatched at my rank at the time at rank 2. And I kept asking myself, this guy, I was getting a couple clues, and then, which means he knows the clues are being used, because everyone kind of sort of weirdly shares that, because there's only so many clues on the board. I find it interesting that that's what happened, and it's just really strange. I was like, why am I getting matched with players that are so much higher rank than me with better gear? I didn't stand a chance. I literally got a couple clues, killed some monsters, found this little wooden 2-tier tower, went up there, got a heal, and then I got some ammo and came back down and shot in the head. You can't see any of the hunters unless you use your vision, the little 2 hands that come up, or other circumstances, like they are doing the ritual to banish the boss or whatever. Then they become visible, or if they shoot, they become visible momentarily, like most shooters. But it's really weird, I was like, why is the matchmaking like this? Why am I getting paired up with people that are way higher level than me? And I would not stand a chance, because this guy had 6 traits, that he had skills or whatever, like I was showing you with the spent bastard and stuff. He had 6 of those. He had some gold weapons and stuff. It's I would never have been able to beat him in a one up match. So I think the matchmaking is a little wonky. Another thing I'm disliking about the game is several players are looking at this game as a strict PvP game. That's how they're playing it. You'll get 12 hunters in here, and they'll either go to a building that might be near a clue and sit and wait. They're not trying to get the clue. They're not trying to do anything against the boss, not trying to get the bounty, not trying to extract. They're simply in the game to kill other hunters, which is part of the game. I get that. But it does state the game is a PvE game and a PvP, which means PvE first. Nobody's really teaming up, even when it's solo. You think it'd be cool if everyone would just say, screw it, we all team up and kill the damn thing, and we all extract together, because if you extract, you win. But I'm not real sure why that is that way. What's the deal with people just either sitting somewhere and camping, which I don't mind the camping part, but that's not how, you're supposed to be going after the clues. You're supposed to be going after other players. And not other players, but after the boss. You're supposed to be going after clues and getting the boss and locating your target and getting the bounty, because that's the point of the game. But there's a lot of people who are just basically playing the game, and you're spawned out. Hopefully, I don't know how the spawn system works. I'm assuming you're not really near anybody. But what I'm trying to get at is, if you're just going to play the game and just hunt other players because you don't want to do the PvE, go play something else. But it's barricaded from the other side there. But that's one gripe I have with the game. There's just people who are in the game, sitting low like this in the bush with some sniper weapon or something, popping up, killing a hunter, and then moving, and they're just going after the hunters. One guy earlier through the mic was complaining that even though he had killed most of the hunters, he was like level 50 and killed everybody, including myself. He was complaining that he was having too difficult time on the boss, and he got killed by the assassin, which is this, and again, another terrifying creature that you fight. And he was mad that he lost, and I was like, well, if you didn't kill everybody, maybe we could have helped a little bit, even though I know we're all technically against each other, but we're also technically against the environment. Oh crap, we're getting killed. This is one of these insect ladies. I'm gonna die. I gotta heal. And see what I mean? I didn't see the hive character, so I died. And then those two hunters that just happened to be not too far from where I spawned just immediately started shooting me. And as you can see there, those two hunters wasn't even bothering to shoot the actual zombie and hive character that was there. They were not even trying to. They simply were trying to kill me, even though I wasn't really a threat until they started shooting me. And so that's a problem for me, to have to see that, to see that just what just happened, see how quickly the game ended. I didn't even get a chance to do anything because that hunter was too close to where I spawned in at. And sometimes it's not like that. I got virtually no EXP from that, as you can see. I killed 2 monsters. No one, and you see that where it says X, it means I failed, whatever the heck. But anyway, so I got to start that all over again. But this is what I'm talking about with this game. There are people who are just playing the game and they only are concerned with killing other hunters. I played one of my matches I played where it was fully populated with 12, or I assume, because there's no way to check that. There was some people that just said, you know what? They didn't even bother to do the clues. They didn't bother to do anything. They waited till somebody else, a couple other people got all the clues, went to the site to banish, and while they were banishing, they all just went in and just killed the hunters and didn't care, and didn't even bother to get the token, didn't do nothing. Their whole point was, let's try to kill, let's just kill these the hunters, and they're not bothering to find clues. They're not bothering to try to do anything other than that. And I understand, yes, that PvP, player versus player, is an aspect of this game, but it is not the focus of the game. And there are people who are coming in here and that's their only concern, is killing other players. They not getting clues, not going after the boss, not trying to do any of the objectives, don't even care. Some of them ignore creatures, even though that gives them XP, because if they see a player, they don't know what your rank is. You don't know what level they are. So they are going to assume that you might be a high level and you might have really awesome gear, so they can grab that gear and that becomes theirs. But but once they realize, oh shit, I just killed a low level guy, he had nothing. You know what I mean? So that's what I'm talking about when it comes to that's why I have that's one of the negative aspects of this game, because I love the concept. The concept is great. It works really well. But again, as you can see in that last game that I was playing, it was ridiculous. I did not like standing. There was the swarm hive chick hit me, bombarded me with insects that were poisonous. The hunter over here was shooting the crap out of me. There was a zombie on there's 6. He didn't care he was getting attacked. He just said screw it. This is one of the ones that's taking place during the night. It's the spider. There's a clue. And again, I welcome when Crytek adds when they simply add the mode where it's just PvE. I don't have to worry about fighting other people. I just fight the creature and get experience and rank up, and that's what I'm going to be most most like yes about. So I'm gonna put that there. Because as much as it's got this really cool premise about about fighting other hunters, I personally think that I wish it was more. I wish people would play the game, and it seems like in the 6 games I played, like I was stating earlier, everybody seems to be just playing it to try to kill other hunters. They're not trying to get the clues. They're not trying to kill the boss. They're just playing it to try to, and I don't necessarily say that's wrong, but there's no real right or wrong to it per se. I'm gonna get this sledgehammer here. If it will see another thing, see the sledgehammer, how it's positioned. I can't pick it up. Another problem with the game is, even though it's highlighted, I should be able to take care. There's an emulator here. They come flamed. They go down fairly easy, but don't be around when they explode in the flame. It's freaking terrible. I blew off some of the chunks of his leg. It's great. Very nice. Very nice dismemberment. And it sucks I couldn't pick up that sledgehammer. I couldn't do it. I gotta find, there's the clue right there. I really dig the game. I really do. I think it's cool. There we go. I got that now. Got 9 ammunition. I don't know. That's the next area for the clue. I primarily, even though I know there are 11 other hunters in this game, I actually am not here to kill the other players. I really would much rather be able to I really would much rather just try to fight than find the boss and kill the creature. There's the phonograph. This is another distraction. And it will play music. Okay, nothing there. It's a good distraction. Let's see here. There's a clue over there. There's a clue over there. 2 clues over there. Sometimes on a map you will actually, there'll be 2 bosses, and so there's a couple options you have there. But again, everything's kind of randomized. This is the first match, though, I played at night. Oh, look, it's gonna rain. That's cool. This game has a lot of horror elements, which I like too. I really dig this game. But I do have problems, like I said, with the menu interface. I do have problems with players just simply not caring that they're not caring about the boss or the clues. They're just in the game. All they care about is killing other players. Now, I said I wasn't going to kill other players, but I got him because, you know what? He was, at this point, I shouldn't be concerned, but yeah, no. See, I got this weapon now. And see, he got me. Well, it happens. He was level 1, but I can spectate if I had a partner or check the queue thing. But I did get one of them. But again, that's the general premise behind the Hunt Showdown. I guess what mileage you're going to get out of it is depending on how many players are actually playing the game. It's going to live and die by its community. And if the community doesn't rally around this on PS4, you're going to have a dead game in 6 months when nobody is playing it anymore. Which is probably a good bet why Crytek and them are trying to say, we're going to put this PvE mode, strictly PvE, so you don't have to worry about playing against people. Probably similar to the way that Evolve did the same thing with its offline mode, where it's just bots. And they may do hunter bots. But as you can see here, you know, I got to one clue and the game's over. I mean, it would have been nice to have played a little bit longer, but again, it all depends on the spawning and where you spawned up. Now I just ranked up. I got the hand crossbow. That's awesome. I did kill a hunter, which gave me 400 XP. I know I said before I killed that guy that I'm not here to play to kill those guys, but at that point I was like, I knew he would start shooting at me and not care, and so that's basically what happened there. So now that I've got this guy unlocked, I can go to my let me see here, my equipment, and there's the hand crossbow. I don't know why I have two crossbows. I can equip one, clean one, or discard one. I can't sell it. I don't know why I have two, but I have two, so it's weird. So I'm going to discard that because I don't need it. I've got two of these too, and I don't know why. I have two weapons, you know, at all. I ain't been able to figure that one out. I don't really need two of each weapon. I've got that Romero, that's that shotgun, I believe, which is a great weapon. I'm going to equip that and use it for a little bit. I think the hand crossbow is cool. That's really neat. I can put that in my small slot, I bet. No, it's actually in the large slot. So I don't want to do that. So let's go ahead and equip that back. And it's just neat. Like I love some of the aspects of the game. It's just cool. You know, I got this knife. So it's not bad. And that's the general crux. This is the game, and it's Hunt Showdown. It's for PS4. It came out at $39.99, $42.39 with tax. There's a $44 version, a deluxe version that will give you. Let's see here. I'll show you actually before I head off here. There are Legends of the Bayou, this weird sister here. It says available, but there are, but you know, I can try to hire them if I want and use them. A lot of these do cost money. The one that's the DLC. Like I don't have the Phantom, and I don't have Larona's Air. I don't have those at all. And that's based off the legend of that. But I think it's cool. You know, they just did this great job on that, and I love that character, and that's who I'd like to play as. And there is like the DLC there, so that's kind of cool. This is Hunt Showdown, basically. It is a player versus environment, player versus player game, with a lot of unlocks and looting and different things you can do with atmosphere and horror and a great sound design. And you should check it out if you like the game. Like I said before, it does have some pros and cons. I hope that I helped you make an informative decision playing it. You should pick it up for $40. It's a pretty good buy, and I definitely recommend it. This has been the People's Machine, and this has been the Gaming Roundtable for Unpaid Gamers, signing off. And this has been episode 1. Stay tuned for episode 2. And as always, gamers, good gaming.